Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Success Hot Seat. Today, I have the amazing Sharon Jurd joining me. Now, as you would know, the purpose of these interviews is to actually help business owners when it comes to showing up online. There are so many people in the online space, and especially on social media, who are out there spruiking the fact that you buy their program and then within 2 or 3 months you're earning 7 figures. And we know that that just does not happen. Having said that, I think it's so important as a business owner to speak or listen to people who have been on this journey, who have made mistakes, who have made wins, and who are actually crushing it now when it comes to their business. And it's amazing. Everybody has a different story and everybody has a little bit of a different journey. So today, as I said, I've got Sharon Jurd joining me. Now, I like to refer to her as the coach's coach. She started out as a real estate agent and from there has gone into so many different things. And I think at the last count, and she can probably correct me when she comes on, I think she's running about 9 different businesses at the moment. So when it comes to optimizing your time and everything, she is absolutely phenomenal. Welcome, Sharon. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk about all of this online digital space because I think as most business owners, they're all focused on, how that can help them in their lives and their businesses right now.
Yeah. So how many businesses are you actually running at the moment?
I keep saying 9. One is morphing into another one. So it's actually officially 8 in a few months' time because we're actually combining 2 businesses. So, I'll say 9 for a little bit longer, but it's reducing down to 8 as it's operating right now. So, it keeps me a little busy, but not too busy because what happens when you own a lot of businesses is you learn to manage your time and manage your role in each of those businesses as well.
Yeah. So what made you start? So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like what made you start your businesses and what do these businesses do?
Well, some of them I roll my sleeves up and get my hands dirty in, and then others, I manage from the top. So I spend different times in different businesses according to what my role is in those businesses. So the business that I get my hands dirty in as such, with my sleeves rolled up and I work in, is my SMJ Coaching Institute. And that's where I help people grow their businesses, themselves, their lives, and really design their business around the lifestyle that they want. A lot of people design their lifestyle around their business, and you can design businesses around it. Yeah. And the thing is, like, people go, how do you do it all? Well, firstly, what do I want my life to look like? And then how do I fit that business into that life? And once you get clear on what you want it to look like, then you can put all the pieces of the puzzle together and design it properly. Yeah. And so that's where I like to hang out. That's where I like to spend my time because I love changing people's lives. So I get up in the morning and go, whose life am I changing, today? And when I go to bed, whose life did I change today? Because I think that it's really important that you know why you're doing things. I change people's lives. I don't care what modality or what industry or what business I'm in, I change people's lives. And that's where I sit, And so when I'm looking at the businesses, it's not, sure, we make money. I don't shy away from that. I don't do anything unless I make money because, it's an energy that I need to be able to help other people. But for me, it's, is this product or service changing people's lives? And if it is, I'm really interested in it.
That's a great thing to get up in the morning to.
Yeah.
And whose life am I going to change today?
And if you think about, if you know anything about law of attraction or all of those, the energy that's around you, or the power of your focus. If you're focusing on something, then you'll attract it. And if I'm focusing on changing people's lives, I'll attract more of that.
Fantastic. Now, I know for a fact, because we're connected on Facebook, so I know what time you get up in the morning. And I don't think I've done that since my children were babies. But you really have, like, you start early, you've got a really structured plan for your day. So there's obviously a reason and a purpose behind that.
Yeah, my dad was a dairy farmer. So from a very young age, I was up. So I do get out of bed at 4 a.m. I go to bed about 8 p.m. So people think that when you get up at 4 a.m., you're working through the night and you're having 2 or 3 hours sleep. I need my sleep. I say I go to bed at 8:30, so I sound like an adult, but I'm usually there about 8. And that's a really good sleep pattern for me. And in the mornings, I'm at my best. I've got lots of clarity. And I do have a structure. I exercise in the morning. I have a personal trainer 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I set a system. I always say, if shit's going down in your life or your business, put a system in place, so it never happens again. And my shit was I wasn't getting up to exercise. So the system was get a personal trainer and I have to meet them there at 5 a.m. And then, it's gratitude, hypnosis, prayer, those sorts of things, focus, clarity in the mornings. And I believe if you've got your morning set, your day's set. And it doesn't matter what time you get out of bed, it's set the morning, for you. And another thing that I'm really strong on is when you wake up, get out of bed. Because what happens is we wake up and then and we're tired. Just get up, get going. You won't be tired. You just get up and, the energy flows and you're doing things and you're breathing and you'll get going.
No chance of falling back to sleep.
Yeah, because while you're laying there thinking about falling back to sleep, you will. So get out of bed and, get going, and you'll find that you'll enjoy it, as you get into a habit. It's a habit. It's a ritual. And, so all of my family get out of bed really early. When I go and visit my parents, I get out of bed and my mum and dad are like, good afternoon. A cup of tea made. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I really love the morning times because, you're not interrupted by the busyness of the day, the noise that's coming in. You can get real clarity on what you want to achieve for that day. And then you just go ahead and do it.
And especially when you're starting with an incredible purpose, like, whose life can I change today? That's really cool. So yeah. I've actually done your coaching. You run a coaching clinic or workshop or 3-day, what would you call it? 3-day mastermind?
Yeah, so it's Grow Your Coaching Bears workshop. Yeah, so it's 3 days of coaching. I run a Grow Your Speaking Biz workshop as well, so I do the 2 of them, and that's where 3 days of the coaching, really sharing what I utilize in my coaching business right now. It's not what I used 20 years ago. It's how I do it now. So if I change something up in my business right now, I change it up in my trainings and in my coaching program, in my SMJ Master Coach program. We're doing it as it is right now. And what I love about, that is that, I set that business up so I could be anywhere in the world doing what I do. And, with COVID and all sorts of other, environments, my master coaches were already there. They already had a business that they could be anywhere in the world. And if it meant being at home, that's okay, because their business still operated like normally. Like when COVID came in, I was, I would work during the day, and then in the evening I was like, oh, that's right, we're in lockdown, because my day-to-day business, it was the same. We could operate it anywhere in the world. And I really love that aspect of it.
And being able to actually help people achieve that for themselves too, whether it is speaking or coaching, or I mean, you've just done your hypnosis one. Being able to give that opportunity to people to say, look, here are some skills that you can use so that when something like this happens, your life isn't really that impacted.
No.
Yeah.
And, these, even during these times, working with people in my program, they're changing other people's lives and they're changing their own lives. Like, I've got, two ladies who are in business together. They started, did my coaching program in May, and now they're charging 4 times the amount that they were charging in their business. They've gone from, not drawing very little wages out for themselves to drawing, tens of thousands of dollars out for themselves. And they're going to top $1 million this year. They never thought possible in COVID right now, Yeah. And I've got, people in my program who have coaching clients paying more money than they ever have before. Like, it just keeps increasing and they're getting larger numbers. You can have successful businesses in these times. You just have to be strategic about it.
Yeah. So talking about that, obviously everything that you've done has gone from face-to-face to online, and even with speaking and everything like that. What are some of the challenges that you've found moving everything online and actually having to run your businesses more in the digital space?
For me, to be honest, there wasn't a huge move because our businesses were already built around being online. I've been online for a number of years, but even like saying that, I do a lot of live speaking. So this year in 2020, I had 17 international speaking engagements for the year booked. So that didn't happen, right? But that didn't break my business because I had so much else going on, where other people would have been, in a fetal position in the corner going, that's my business gone. Because I always teach my coaches that you have 10 ways of income coming into your business, because then, that dried up, but my online programs then catapulted. So I got to, spend more time working on those and so forth. But I suppose to answer your question, the challenges, because I had many challenges. So I don't want it to be seen like, oh, I just breezed through because I had my business set up. The challenge was making sure I supported my clients, my coaches, and therefore their coaching clients in a whole new way. Yeah. Now, we made sure that, we were, setting them up for success while still dealing with our emotions, our, uncertainty. We had to find some certainty in the uncertainty. What was certain for us? Yes, we have technology. We can be online. We've operated this way. Now we have to make sure that our clients are operating in that way. And the other challenge for us was the growth in different areas of our business. So my online, program was motoring along and doing what it needed to do. And then it had this influx, and to make sure that we could handle that different way of people engaging with us and making sure that we were communicating in that way. And supporting them, because my online program, one of my online programs is all video, and I don't participate as such live, but we added that because people were still wanting some live connection because they weren't having any connection at all. And so for us to just tweak a few of those things in our business, was challenging for us to make sure that we were, adding value to all of those, programs and products that we have.
Okay. So it was more just having the support system there.
And making sure our communication was, top notch. Like, we over communicated, and in the online space, and how we do that, we had to communicate even more so than we ever had before. And I was looking at mine, and I'm like, I think I communicate really well, and I know I communicate really well, but let's now take it to a whole new level. What do clients, need from us now, and give them more communication than they would ever expect from anyone, and support them in that way.
Fantastic. Because that's the thing. I mean, you do have so many different areas. I mean, apart from the coaching and the speaking and the hypnosis, you've got so many other things that you're doing as well.
And that's what I did. I just, in every part of my business, I was like, how am I, in all my businesses, how am I communicating, and what do people need from me, in that respect? What else can I give them? What resources can I help them with to, make these changes? Because some of my business had to pivot, dramatically.
Yeah, I can imagine. So with that, what are some of the things that you've found have worked really well? Like, I mean, I remember when I started Marketing Leap 7, nearly 8 years ago, I was actually getting your business blitz tips back then. So, you have been doing this for a while. What are some of the big wins that you've had where you've looked at and gone, you know what, that really works, and I'm going to roll that out to, my coaches and my clients?
Yeah, I think to be very to be, like I was going to say, the word that's coming for me is raw, but I'm not sure that's the right word, but when you're communicating with people and your clients and your community, let them know that you have the challenges. Let them know that you've got these emotions. And that's what I did with my master coaches. We got together straight away every Tuesday. So I said, I'm here for you every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. It will be what it be. It wasn't structured. It was about, what are we going through right now? What do you need from me? Because as coaches, people were looking to us for strength and clarity and, all sorts of stuff, where we were having our own, we had, some of my master coaches had children at home and dealing with the logistics of all of that. And so we were just really honest and said, we have a business as well, and we are going through this. And it's our behavior that will, get us to the other side in some format. And our behavior was to stay focused on what we want, to, look for the positives, to change very quickly and to be open-minded about that. But the other thing is to keep going. Just don't stop, because a lot of people had come to me for coaching during this year saying, my coaching business, because of COVID, it's shut down. And I'm saying, well, that's just your belief, because here we are in SMJ Coaching Institute and we're keeping going. We're not going to wait for stuff to change or wait for it to be over, whatever that is. This is the environment we're in right now, and this is how we're behaving in that environment right now. And
even to be able to say, I have clients who are now looking at turning over 7 figures. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really, in this environment.
Yeah, and people are wanting more help in this environment. They're needing more support, and and they're wanting some stability. They're wanting some certainty, and so we provide that. As a coach, we can provide that in a real way.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, and that's actually why I started doing these interviews, was to show people that there is a world out there, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it's possible. It's doable. Yeah. But like you said, it's also having structures and strategies in place to make that happen. So for you, if somebody, like, you have a coach coming to you and saying, okay, I've got all this life experience, I want to be able to coach people in this way, what are some of the tips that you would actually give to somebody starting out, knowing that most of what we do now is online, through social media and
I think one, I say it all the time, and usually I get asked several questions and it's the same answer, is be consistent. Be very consistent. As you said, you saw my Biz Blitz how many years ago? 10 years ago. I've been, it's over 10 years. Be consistent about that. Show up for people. Let them know, because as I said, people like consistency. Let them know that you're there, that you're consistently going to show up and share knowledge or expertise with them, and and be there, it's not a comfort zone, because we teach people to be resourceful, but that certainty that you are there day in, day out, wherever that may be, wherever you're hanging out online, wherever your clients are or prospective clients are. Just be consistent about that. And I'm not saying like every day, because you start off with, you might do a monthly video and then go to fortnightly or 2 weekly video, and then weekly, and then grow into daily. You've got to flex the muscle. You've got to get better at it. And we don't go into the gym and lift 10 kilos, 100 kilos straight away. We start with 10 and then we go to 20 and work our way up to that. And with my Biz Blitz, I've never, it's every Wednesday in your inbox. People know it's there. And in fact, if people are so comfortable with it, I've got my necklace with an S on it. I get emails if I haven't got this necklace on. I didn't realize it was a part of my branding.
Wow.
Yeah. So I use the same background. But yeah, people, when they open the video, they know it's me. I'm not surprising them with anything. People a lot of times will think that they have to do things differently all of the time. I'm sure I've changed my branding and, I've got better at presenting and all of that. But they open it up, knowing me, even if they've never met me. So that consistency grows that trust and that like and that know about that. The other thing that I share is be persistent. And so people are consistent, but you need to be persistent as well. If you want to work with a particular person, or you want to speak on a certain stage, you have to be persistent. You can't expect just to send one email off to somebody and then answer it and give you an opportunity. And a lot of people come to me saying, I've sent off 120 emails and I got nothing. This doesn't work, and you know as well, Ian, you have to be persistent about what you want to achieve. So, if you want to work with somebody or participate in an event or whatever it is for you, then you have to be persistent. You can't expect people just to, acknowledge you first go round, because they're busy. They've got stuff going on. There's a lot of noise. So when
it's interesting. I was going to say, talking about that, the first interview that I ever did in this series was with a gentleman in Jamaica, Paul Stennett, and he's a podcast coach, and actually helps people get their podcast set up the right way. And he was saying when he first started out, he contacted 200 podcasters. He got 200 no's. I think he had one person come back to him and accepted whatever it was he had to offer, but it didn't go any further. I mean, if that's not persistence, I don't know what is.
There's loads and loads of stories, for people who have made it, whatever that is for them. There is a story around consistency and persistence, and the things that, people have done that you don't hear the stories about, that they've done in the background for, months or years sometimes to get that opportunity that they've longed for. And I test people. People will come to me wanting to, speak from stage. I never answer in the first opportunity. I want the follow-up. I want somebody who really wants this. If somebody really, really wants this opportunity and they're persistent about it, then they deserve it. Someone who just sends one email off and expects the opportunity, it doesn't rate in my world, and I look for those people who are really passionate about what they do and believe that they do deserve that, that opportunity. And I love it.
Okay. That's always handy to know if I ever want to speak on your stage. I'll email about 4 times. And because I run events, a lot of people want to come and speak from stage, and speak to my community. And I think it's really important to have the right people engaged with your own community. And I used to do it in my real estate days.
people would come in and they're a trades, person of some sort, plumber, electrician, handyman, cleaner, and they'd come into my real estate agencies and say, oh, we want to do your work. And my receptionist would keep a log. And unless they'd been in 3 times, they didn't get to speak to my property manager. Then once they were given the property manager's details, they had to contact her 3 times before they got to me. Because we wanted someone that was going to be there long term, that wanted our work, that appreciated the relationship, that wanted to build a long-term relationship. And then they were the people that we wanted to be around and joint venture with and work with and do that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And that's the key, really, is whether it's online or offline, it's building relationships.
Oh, a massive building a relationship online. People think that I was just about to bucket that in, but there's a lot of people out there that think it's different online to offline. It's not. You build really strong relationships online. I've got strong relationships with people I've never met in person. I work all the way around the world. I coach people all the way around the world. Yet I work with people. I do joint venture events with people who I've never met personally, but we have a very strong relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's just through that constant, the consistency and just showing up and getting to know them.
Yeah. And it's, because people contact me and go, oh, hi, how's your day? I always respond, and, they're wanting to, build a relationship. And if someone wants to take the time to build that relationship with me, I'm all in. Yeah, I love it. As if, we were meeting in the street or going to a networking function live or an event somewhere. If they're talking to me online like I'm a real person, that they want to get to know me, and it's not all about me, it's about sharing backwards and forwards. I'm all in, I love it.
Yeah. So really that's sort of almost like the 3 key things is being consistent, having persistence, and I love that differentiation you have between the two, between consistency and persistence, and then building a relationship.
Yeah, I build I build my businesses on relationships. Full stop.
Yeah.
It's not about a product. It's not about a service. It's nothing to do with that, because there is 1,001 people out there offering the same product or service that you do. And you might say, oh, I'm different. The consumer doesn't know that before you start promoting to them. There is 1,001 people out there doing what you do. It's around relationships.
Yeah.
Focus on the relationships, build the relationships, the clients and money will come. People go out looking for a client. My master coaches go out building relationships. We call them strategic alliances. They're with people that we work with really closely, and we strategically nurture those relationships and build really strong friendships. You start working with somebody and you become best friends, and, you have a real care, for people. And I would rather be doing that. I'd rather be making, several calls a day to somebody that I really like, that I like to hang out with. I want to add value to their life. I really care about what they're doing, than making cold calls to people who don't want to know me. Yeah.
True. Yeah, definitely.
And when I say call, it's a metaphor, it's an analogy, whether it's online, typing just a sweet message to them, or doing a nice, voice, audio to them online. It's reaching out and having those conversations with them.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So if somebody watching this today wanted to connect with you and let's just say they've got incredible life experience, they want to be a coach, or they want to speak, or even, I think your last one was you run a hypnosis. You actually train hypnotists.
Yeah, I train and accredit people to become a hypnotherapist. Yeah.
Hypnotherapist, not hypnotist. There's a difference.
Yeah. That's the stage show where we're quacking like a duck and dancing. I do a bit of that as well. For me, if a person is watching or listening to this and they want to change their life, then that's who I work with. Whether they want to be a coach or a speaker or a hypnotherapist, or just in their business, and build strong relationships with their team and their suppliers and their joint ventures, that's the people I want to work with. Someone who goes, I don't like where I am and I want to, do better, or I'm okay where I'm at and everything's great. 'Cause you don't have to be in the world of pain to want to change. You just want to take yourself to the next level. That's what I help people do.
Right. So, and if they want to connect with you, I mean, obviously you're online.
Sharon Jurd, see me online everywhere. I live in that world. That's where I live. And people, people get so anti, social media and stuff, and I love it because I get to connect with people all around the world. If I stayed offline, I wouldn't have the relationships that I have right now. So you can contact me. Most of my social media is Sharon Jurd. That's what you type that in, you'll find it whatever platform you're on. But my website is sharonjurdevents.com.au, or if you are a coach or a speaker, you can come to smjcoachinginstitute.com and find out a little bit more about that. But connect with me and all sorts of, and if you connect with me, you get me, because I love hanging out there. I love building relationships. And I say to people, just send me a message and you'll get me. And they're like, what? Like, you'll answer me? Yes, because
so they don't have to go through the assistant 3 times.
No, you do that offline. That's offline. If you make a call, you're going to get somebody. But online, I'm there. I live in that space, and I love being there because I get to connect with people.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge. And like I said, I mean, I've had the pleasure of actually being to 2 of your events, and I found for myself, from having spoken and done a bit of coaching before that, just even being able to have those standard operating procedures, or the SOPs, or whatever you want to call them, is that and the practice in a safe space.
That's what I love about my events mostly, is that it's a workshop. That's why I call it a workshop. We are doing. And you don't sit there taking notes, then go away and go, what do I do with that, or how do I do it? Because a lot of presenters show the what. I show the how. It's okay to know the what. Oh, I know what I have to do. Everyone knows what they have to do. If you want to lose weight, you know how you have to eat healthier and, train, get exercise. It's black and white. I know. We know what we have to do, but how do you do that? And so in my workshops, I show the how. So you go away knowing exactly how to coach, how to speak, how to be a hypnotherapist, with you don't have to build anything. You don't have to do any hard work afterwards. It's done. I love it.
And you've had the practice too. Having spoken and done live events myself, I still found that, when we had, okay, you now have 30 seconds, here you go, you don't have notes. You sort of get to 20 minutes and go, oh, hang on, I've got to keep going for another 10 minutes. But having that practice and having people on the other side, just supporting you, it's
a very nice environment to be in, be supportive and a caring, protective environment, where you learn that you actually can do it. To talk for 90 minutes, when I do my Grow Your Speaking Biz, to talk for 90 minutes without PowerPoint or without notes, people don't believe me. But once you have the structure, when you know the how, it's really easy. Everybody is fine with it. And so that's the thing about my workshops. It's doing. And then the day after, you are confident in what you have to do.
No, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom. It's been fantastic. And I will talk to you soon.
Yes, you will. Thank you.
Bye. Well, I really hope, I know that you would have got some really good tips out of that, especially when it comes to consistency, persistence, and building relationships. And I'll actually get Sharon to pop her links and everything in the comments below. So, if you want to move into the coaching space or the speaking space, Those two I can definitely vouch for because I've actually done the workshops myself, and there is nothing like having that one-on-one experience of being able to practice in a safe environment. So, connect with Sharon, and another great thing is, as she said, waking up in the morning and, how can I change someone's life today? I mean, if that's not going to give your life value and meaning, I don't know what is. So in the meantime, have an amazing week, guys. We will see you next Wednesday, where I have the lovely Annie Noon, photographer, joining me, and we'll talk again then. Thank you so much for joining me on the Digital Success Hot Seat, where we interview incredible experts about their online journey, their challenges, their tips, what's worked for them, and what hasn't. So if you're really enjoying this series, I'd love it if you would just hit the subscribe button below, and also hit the bell, so that way you get notified every single time we upload a new interview. I really appreciate you joining us, and let's get on with it.